When Russia invaded Ukraine a year ago, sweeping sanctions followed in diverse sectors, from business and finance to technology and sport. I'm Michael Perry. Welcome to iSport Connect's special edition, Sport at War, looking at the impact on major sport since the start of the First War in Europe this century. Layers of fresh snow cover the new grave sites that keep filling the ground and the world's news bulletins a year after the invasion. Ukraine is a devastated sporting nation. Playing fields have become battlefields. Young men and women, Ukraine's future athletes, have sacrificed their young lives representing Ukraine at war, not in the world's best sporting venues as they had dreamed growing up before Russia invaded. World governing bodies and international federations scrambled to respond to the devastating images of war. The IOC led the way, urging sports to prevent athletes and teams from Russia and Belarus from international competition. Norwegian sport was among the first to respond. The impact on global sport has been unprecedented, beginning at the epicentre of the invasion with the evacuation of the Brazilian footballers contracted to top-flight Ukrainian teams. World Game has placed a spotlight on Ukraine, reflecting sport's capacity to bring people together in turbulent times, giving hope and support to Ukraine. Clubs, players and fans rallied at sporting fixtures across the world in support of Ukraine. Ukraine's stunning victory over Scotland in the World Cup qualifying stages defied the odds and the expectations, as Ukraine's embattled army has throughout the war. Sports sanctions and penalties span the globe, banning Russia from the world's biggest and most prestigious sporting events. These included the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, Wimbledon in England, the World Athletics Championships in Oregon, and the Beijing Paralympic Winter Games. The military war has sparked a heated war of words at some of the highest levels of international sport and politics over moves to allow Russia into the Paris Olympic Games. While IOC President Thomas Bach has pledged solidarity with Ukraine, opposition to the Russia Olympic plan is growing, condemned by Ukraine's internationally admired and supported president as a violation of the Olympic spirit of peace. Russia's push for Paris has even been rejected by the mayor of the next Olympic host city while the war continues. Even the default fallback to a neutral team has been dismissed as meaningless, with a neutral team immediately identifiable as Russian. The solution to the emerging Paris Games crisis is complex and compromised by Russia's corrupt political sports system. Few governments have as close a relationship with their Olympic sports administrators, programs and athletes as the Russian Olympic Committee and the Putin regime. While boycotts have been discussed, it seems likely at this stage that Olympic diplomats and dignitaries would be involved rather than athletes, as at the Beijing Winter Olympics. Negotiations towards a possible Russia-Paris Games agreement involving IOC, Olympic leaders, sports power brokers and Paris officials will escalate in coming days and weeks to contain the deepening divisions over Russia. These talks will be vital to resolving concerns and conditions over Russia's possible presence in Paris. The international community needs a new strategy that can support the world's biggest and most important sporting event in Paris next year. The strategy must protect the Olympic experience of the world's best athletes, along with the integrity of Olympic sport and the Olympic values in Paris. The strategy must also show meaningful support for the young people and future athletes of Ukraine, who are still likely to be defending themselves and their nation against Russia's monstrous war during the Paris Games, just 3 flying hours away from Russia's killing fields in Ukraine. To follow these developments and other important issues in world sport, please go to isportconnect.com. I'm Michael Perry.